Okay, Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera. Now we are going to learn about page 44 and 45 for today. So let's look to the grammar. So on page 44, okay, you have to answer question 3, question 4, and question 4, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, it's about grammar, comparative and superlative. Okay, dia lebih kepada untuk kita membandingkan, buat bandingan sifat antara dua atau lebih objek. Contohnya small, smaller, the smallest. Smaller di pertengahan jika dibandingkan dua orang. The smallest is yang paling kecil antara lebih daripada dua orang. Okay. Big, bigger, the biggest. Friendly, friendlier, the friendliest. Interesting, more interesting, the most interesting. Good, better, the best. So sometimes the word change 100%. Okay, from good to the better. Dia tak ada goodest tak ada. So good, better, the best. Bad, worse, the worst, yang paling teruk. So sometimes you can put er at the back. Sometimes you have to change the word itself. Good, better, the best. Bad, worse, the worst. Okay, so to get this knowledge, you have to read more, okay, and try to find out, to identify the adjective, the comparative, the superlative in your reading. Then you can get more vocabulary on this type of grammar. Okay, number 1, study the table. Okay, study the table, then copy and complete the sentences. Number 1, A, it's beautiful place you can imagine. Okay, beautiful is an adjective. So when you use comparative, it is maybe the most beautiful place you can imagine. Tempat yang paling cantik yang anda pernah lihat. So it's the most beautiful place you can imagine. Okay. B, island life is healthy than city life. Di sini dia membandingkan kehidupan di pulau dan juga kehidupan di bandar. So, dua objek di sini, perbandingannya, jadi kita menggunakan comparative. Island life is healthier, lebih baik daripada kehidupan dan city life, kehidupan di bandar. So, you have to know when to use superlative, when to use comparative. Okay, number 2. Which sentence in exercise 1 compares? Okay, yang mana satu yang membandingkan one thing with another thing? Of course number sentence in B, because it compare between island life and city life, and one thing with many other things. Okay, the most beautiful place you can imagine. Dia bandingkan tempat yang dia pernah lihat sekarang ini dengan mana-mana tempat yang lain di seluruh dunia. Dia rasa ini tempat yang paling cantik sekali. Jadi dia bandingkan dengan lebih daripada satu objek. Okay, number 3. Okay, you have to answer this question. Write sentences using the comparative form of the adjectives in brackets. The Mediterranean / the Atlantic cold. So you have to use the comparative, maksudnya yang tengah-tengah ni. The Atlantic is colder than the Mediterranean. Sebut susah. The Atlantic is colder than the Mediterranean. Okay, number 1. Spain / Scotland, in bracket hot, means Scotland is lebih panas daripada Spain. So the answer for question 3 should be, when you answer these questions, question 3, number 1, Scotland is hot, hotter, lebih panas, hotter than Spain. Okay, that's the answer for question 1. Okay, number 2. Cities / village, busy. Okay, which one is busy? Cities or village? Okay, of course lah, in our logical mind, cities is busier compared to village. So you can say here, cities is busier. Sorry, cities is plural, so are. So I leave for you to answer all the question 3, 4, 5 and 6. Sometimes we also use as plus the adjective to compare things. For example, Scotland is as beautiful as England. Maksudnya Scotland dan England ni sama cantik. They are equally beautiful. Or in a negative statement, Island aren't as dirty as cities. Okay, maksud di sini pulau tidaklah sekotor bandar. Or cities are dirty, ataupun dalam bahasa yang lain, bandar lebih kotor daripada pulau. Okay, sebabkan pencemaran dan sebagainya. So island aren't as dirty as cities. So you can use as plus adjective to compare things rather than you use the comparative and superlative. So once again, I want to use for question 4, you use back all the sentence in exercise 3 by using the as plus adjective to compare things. So rewrite the sentences from exercise 3 in your notebook using isn't or aren't as. Okay, so maksudnya semua ni negatif lah, semua ni negative statement. Okay, so we can say that, for example, for your exercise, okay, you can copy this. So for this exercise 4, question 4, you can say number 1, Scotland isn't as hot as Spain. Maksudnya bandar Scotland tidaklah sepanas bandar Sepanyol. Cities aren't as busy as villages. Maksudnya bandar tidaklah sesibuk kawasan pedalaman ataupun kampung. So you have to complete question 3, 4, 5 and 6 by yourself. For question 5, order the words to make superlative sentences. Wettest is England place the in the Lake District. So you have to sort it in order to make a correct sentence. For example, the Lake District is the wettest place in England. So the Lake District is the wettest place in England. So number 1. So you can go for question 5. Okay, write down your question 5 here. Number 1, city the Tokyo world biggest the in East. So Tokyo is singular, satu, tunggal, so is. Tokyo is the biggest city in the world. So that's the answer for question 1. Question 2, 3, 4 and 5, you have to answer by your own. So let's look to question 6. Complete the question with the superlative form of the adjective in bracket. Then answer the questions about your country. Okay, anda buat soalan dan anda jawab sendiri. Okay, short sendiri sini lah. Okay, number 1. So we go for question 6. Question 6, number 1. Use the word, the question what. So what is, and use the superlative adjective. That is height, yang tinggi. So paling tinggi, the highest. What is the highest? Highest highest mountain in Malaysia, because you have to relate it to our country, Malaysia. So when you build up your question, then you have to answer the question. Jawablah. The highest mountain in Malaysia is Gunung Kinabalu. If you don't know the answer, you can search Google, okay, to find out the answer. Okay, number 2. What is the longest river in Malaysia? Okay, jawablah dan seterusnya. Okay, so you have to answer question until question 6, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, that's the exercise for page 44. For question 4, on page 45 in your textbooks, you have to answer question 1, question 2, question 4 and question 6. And the skills related should be vocabulary and listening. So to improve your vocabulary and to improve your listening skills. So these are the pictures of top 10 endangered species. Species haiwan yang terancam. These animals are in danger. Find out why below. So to understand more detail about this picture, so let's look to the question 1. Listen and repeat the animals. Which 4 animals do you think aren't endangered species? So I will play the audio and then you choose 4 animals in this box which are not endangered species. You can refer to these pictures. So I will play the audio for you.
Unit 4. Vocabulary and Listening. Animals. Exercise 1.
Gorilla, elephant, crocodile, owl, whale, rhinoceros, polar bear, snake, turtle, butterfly, giraffe, penguin, tiger, bee.
So you can answer this question by writing down question 1. Okay, what's the answer for number 1? Gorilla, elephant, crocodile, owl. So the answer should be owl because we don't have the picture here. Okay, and then whale, we have whale here. Rhinoceros, polar bear, snake. Okay, we don't have the picture of snake here, so you can put the answer number 2, snake. Number 3, I don't know. Number 4, you find out. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, for question 2, copy and complete the description with words from the box. So by listening about the audio 2.03 about this picture, you complete the blank area with correct answers, the correct words. So please listen carefully and answer the question. For example, you can go for question 2 here. Okay, question 2. Number 1. What is number 1? Number 2, 3. Okay, blah 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 until 10. Okay, so let's listen to the audio.
Unit 4. Vocabulary and Listening. Unit 4. Vocabulary and Listening. Animals. Exercise 2. Top 10 endangered species.
These animals are in danger. Find out why below.
1. Hotter summers and colder winters are making it difficult for this monarch butterfly to survive.
2. People are destroying the forest where the mountain gorilla lives.
3. Large areas of ice where the polar bear hunts for food are melting.
4. Tourists are disturbing the leatherback sea turtle, which lays its eggs on beaches.
5. It's illegal, but people still hunt the tiger for its skin.
6. People in some countries eat whale meat.
7. People hunt the rhinoceros for its horn, which is very valuable.
8. In some parts of the world, the penguin can't find enough fish to eat.
9. People are building houses and roads in areas where the crocodile lives.
10. Hunters kill this animal because elephant tusks are worth a lot of money.
Unit 4.
Okay, that's the audio for the top 10 endangered species. So we go to the question 4. Copy and complete the table with the animals in exercise 1. So we have 4 category for animals: mammals, reptile, bird and insect. So to answer this question, for question 4, Okay, first you write down the category and list down what are the animals belong to that category. Okay, for examples, the mammal. Okay, apakah binatang-binatang dalam kategori mamalia, mammals? Okay, the first one should be elephant. Okay, number 2, number 3, number 3, number 4, five, 6. Okay, then we have reptile. Apakah binatang dalam kumpulan reptilia? Okay, reptile, number 1, number 2, number 3. And then we have bird. Bird, number 1, number 2. And lastly, we have insect. Insect, number 1 and number 2. So list down all these animals in their category, in their proper or in the correct category. So that's for question 4. So you can get the answer by listening to the text, or maybe you can search in the Google to find out the correct category. Okay, for question 5, listen to Chris and Lucy talking about a project they have to do. What mistake does Chris make? Apakah kesilapan yang dilakukan oleh Chris? So listen to this audio.
Unit 4. Unit 4. Vocabulary and listening. A discussion. Exercise 5.
Which endangered animal are you going to do your project on?
Whales, I think. I found this article about them on the internet, and they're really amazing animals, you know.
What's so amazing about them?
Well, first of all, they're really intelligent. For one thing, they've got their own language.
What do you mean? Fish can't talk?
They aren't fish. Honestly, Chris, don't you listen to anything in biology? They're mammals.
Okay, if you say so.
Anyway, whales make sounds under the ocean in order to communicate with other whales.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes, and they're very friendly animals too. When people go whale watching, the whales swim near the boats and look at the people.
Wow, I'd love to see a real whale.
Me too, but soon there might not be any.
Why not? Whale hunting isn't allowed anymore, is it?
No, but they still do it in some countries. Another problem is ships.
Ships?
Yes, sometimes ships hit whales and kill them by mistake.
That's terrible.
I know. Anyway, what are you doing your project on?
I haven't decided yet. Maybe snakes.
Snakes? They aren't an endangered species, are they?
No, but I know a lot about them. My brother's got a pet snake, you see.
You're joking. Yuck.
So that's the audio for conversation between Chris and Lucy. So you have to find out what mistake does Chris make. So I give you the hints. It's about whale, about the fact of whale. So you can find out apakah kesilapan yang dilakukan oleh Chris. Dialah berkaitan dengan paus, ikan paus. Okay, what's the statement? Okay. So for question 6, listen again, and you can play the audio again in your YouTube and answer the question. Number 1, why does Lucy think whales are intelligent? Kenapa Lucy beranggapan ikan paus itu adalah bijak? Okay, so by listening to the questions and by listening to the audio, the answer should be they refer to the whales, okay? Or maybe you can say the whales got their own language. Their own language. Mana cikgu dapat jawapan ni? Daripada audio tadi. The whales got their own language. So number 2, what do whales do when people watch them from boats? Okay, apa yang mereka lakukan? Ikan-ikan paus tu lakukan apabila dia apabila orang ramai melihat mereka daripada boat tersebut. Okay, so ikan paus itu sebenarnya dia berenang menghampiri boat tersebut, look for dan melihat kepada penonton tersebut. Itu dalam bahasa Melayu. So you have to answer it in English. They swim near the boats and look at the people. So find out the answers for question 3, 4 and 5 by your own. So that's all for today. We continue our lesson next week. Thank you.